The following video contains optimized strats, that is to say, significant improvements that greatly differ from what the PF majority is doing at the time of writing, intended for static and event use or latecomers to the tier. This isn't a full encounter guide, so it should be supplemented with one. Thank you. Hi, and welcome to Lucy's Refined M5S. This was made before Dancing Green had a render, so we have AB to sub in for the day. Hope you don't mind. A Waymark preset recommended by me can be found in the description. For assignments, you will need color pairs, which you will use to extrapolate pretty much every spot mechanic in the fight. You don't need clock spots or light parties. What you will need are fan spreads for Arcady Night Fever, for which I recommend the true fans formation shown here that will have you on true directions instead of between them. DPS warm, support cold. First mechanic, we have flip to A or flip to B side, which are conventionally done as either roll stacks or light parties, depending on the pattern. However, only the healers need to care what is actually being used, as the tanks and DPS can just plant no matter what. We'll show flip to A side first, which is a roll stack. The boss will do a snap, twist, and drop the needle. What happens here is he will cleave the half room that number of times, do one on the other side, and then use the stored mechanic. In that case, healers were east and west, because it was a roll stack. Next we'll show flip to B side, which is usually done as a light party. However, tanks and DPS can plant north and south yet again, and the healers will just split. H1 surprisingly isn't at any risk with only 3 people in this stack. The stacks don't do that much damage anyway. Secondly, Arcady Night Fever. The True Fans formation allows for easier execution of this mechanic with no compromise. You will effectively resolve this the same way as normal, just with the spread variation. Using true directions makes it significantly easier to keep alignment. And I will spare you the rest of the mechanic, you probably get the idea. Ride the Waves only has a small variation, and that is, I recommend that the boss is dragged south to buy some extra time. This will go on as normal. Firstly, a quarter beat. Then an eighth beat. These mechanics can occur in the opposing order, so pay attention to the cast bar. Lastly, the last mechanic difference, Frogtourage. For this, instead of doing a relative light party like is typically done in PF, instead we resolve it simply in our color quadrant. First, the lines will be drawn as usual. This is an east-west safe pattern. So everyone goes to the spot that's closest to them. This is for spreads. And the ranged collapse in if it's stuck. It is just that simple. Showing now a north-south safe pattern for completeness. Don't be scared at the lack of healer up north. This mechanic really doesn't do that much damage. While this isn't a mechanic, and rather a just burst time consideration, the damage buff awarded for completing Let's Dance Remix correctly might make it worth holding your 6-minute burst with the pot to 7 minutes, depending on both your composition or if you don't know a kill time. It is generally recommended to hold, but you can read the text on the side if you want to know all the considerations. Regardless, check with your leader about which version you'll be doing. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe for more Final Fantasy XIV stuff, and ring the bell or join the Discord for all the future notifications. Bye.